A very good afternoon to you all students. So how are you all? So I hope you all are fine, right? You all are hale and hearty and you all are staying in your homes, right? So students, so today what we are going to discuss is related to our surroundings, okay? It's basically related to our surroundings, right? So students, if you look around yourself, okay, I mean, if you look at any objects, so one thing that you can surely correlate with all these objects is that a line. Okay, are you able to getting me? That I'm saying that one thing that you can easily correlate with any of the object that you see around is the word line. So for example, if you take a textbook, any book or any copy, okay, so if you consider one edge of your book, so what is that edge? You can represent that edge as a line, okay, as a straight line, right? Similarly, if you look at your door, if you look at a door and if you look at the bar of your door, what is that bar? It is also a straight line, right? So students, what I'm going to tell is that so the word line can be correlated with almost all kinds of objects that we see around, right? So similarly, another term which we can correlate is that the term is angle. Okay, so you know what is an angle, right? So you have learned this before, right? So, so for example, if I ask you to look at the corner of your room, okay, look at one corner of your room. So that particular corner can also be represented with the help of an angle, right? That corner is making an angle, right, with the other wall, right? So the one wall is making an angle with the other wall, right? So basically what I'm going to tell is that the two terms lines and angles, okay, we can understand with the help of the objects which we see around, right? So students, this is basically our today's topic of discussion, okay? So students, we are going to understand today the concept of line and angles, okay? So students, let's start. See here are three objects in front of you, okay? So see the first object, that is the fish, okay? So you can clearly see that the mouth of the fish can also be represented with the help of an angle, right? The mouth of the fish is making an angle, right? And similarly, the second picture, that is the plane, aeroplane, okay? So the plane is also making an angle. How? See the gliders, okay? So the wings of the plane and the body of the plane, okay? So the wing of the plane and the body of the plane is also making an angle, right? So similarly, the third picture, that is the scissors, okay? So the two blades of the scissor are also making an angle, right? And we can adjust the angle according to our choice, right, by moving the blades, right? So students, what I'm going to make you understand is that so angles and lines are in our surroundings, right? So we can also represent these objects with the help of lines as well as angles, okay students? So now first of all, I'm going to discuss you about line, okay? I'm going to discuss about line, okay? After that I will come to angles, okay? So students, first of all, there are three terms, okay, which you have to understand, okay? So the first one is line, the second one is line segment, and the third one is a ray, okay? So there are three terms. Look, see here. So there are three terms, that is one line, a line segment, and a ray, right? So we must have to differentiate between these three, okay? So how these three are different from one another, we are going to look this in more detail, okay students? So let's begin, okay? So first of all, we'll start with line. Okay, we'll start with line. See, so what the definition of line says. Okay, so a line is a straight path extending in both directions with no endpoints. Okay, so basically what is a line? A line is a straight path extending in both directions with no endpoints, right? So basically there is a no endpoint in line. That means a line infinitely moves in both directions, right? A line basically moves infinitely in both directions. Okay, students, so see the examples are given below. See, these are the lines. Okay, see, the both the corners of the line is marked with an arrow, right? So what does this arrow indicates? So this arrow indicates that the line will go on moving in that particular direction. It will not have any endpoint. As far as it can go, it will keep on going. Okay, so this arrow represents that it is a line. Okay, students, are you clear with the concept of line? So what do you mean by line? Do you understand? Okay, so students, so after understanding this, if I ask you that can we calculate the distance of a line, or can we calculate the length of a line, what will be your answer? It will be yes or no? It will be no, right? Why? Because a line doesn't have any definite length. Why it doesn't have? Because it moves indefinitely in both directions, right? It moves indefinitely in both directions, and an infinite object cannot have a finite length, right? So we can say that a line does not have any particular length. Okay, it moves infinitely in both directions. Okay, so this was basically what line about. Now if I come to the next topic, that is the line segment. Okay, it is line segment. So what basically a line segment is? A line segment is a part of a line having two endpoints. Okay, so students, a line segment is a part of a line having two endpoints. So a line segment is inside a line. It is basically a part of a line. Okay, so if you cut a particular part of a line and keep aside, then that particular portion will be known as a line segment. Have you understood, students? See in the picture below, it is a line segment, it is not a line. And how can you know that it is a line segment? See, at both the ends of this particular line segment there is no arrow. There is no arrow given here, right? So there are only two dots. It is represented by two dots, and these dots represent a finite length. We can measure this length. Okay, it represents a finite length. Okay, and hence we can say that this particular line segment is a part of a line which is infinite, right? So a line segment is a finite. Okay, we can measure a line segment. Okay, students, I think I have made myself clear about what line segment is, right? So basically it is a part of a line, or it is a segment of a line. Okay, and it has two endpoints, and we can measure the length of a line segment. Okay, done. So students, let's move to the third topic, that is ray. Okay, now what is a ray? We'll have to understand this. Okay, so see the definition. What the definition says: a ray is also a part of line, okay, having one endpoint and moving endlessly in one direction. See, a ray is also a part of line, just like line segment. But what is the difference of a ray from line segment is that in one side it will have an endpoint, okay, but in the other side it will have no endpoint. It will move endlessly in that direction. Okay, it will move infinitely in that direction, just like the property of a line. Okay, so have you understood what is a ray? So we can basically say that a ray is an half of a line. If you consider a line and if you make a cut at the middle, or I can say cut wherever you want, that particular one portion will be called as a ray. Why? Because it will have one endpoint. It will have one endpoint, and at the same time it will also have another direction which will move endlessly, right? So we can say that a ray is also part of line having one endpoint and moving endlessly in other direction. So here is the example given below. See, so the portion AB is known as ray. Okay, see, at the end of A there is a particular point, right? We can measure it, that particular point. But look at the end B. Here an arrow is given instead of a dot, and what the arrow represents, that it will keep on moving endlessly, right? It represents it will keep on moving endlessly, right? So therefore this is a ray. Okay, so students, have you understood what is a ray? Okay, so these are the three categories of, okay, of a line, I can say. Okay, the first one we have learned is that the line, and then we have learned line segment, and now it is ray. So students, you must remember these three things. Okay, you must understand the concept. Okay, so I think I have made you understood about this. Okay students, so now another term is that is collinear points. Collinear points. Okay, so what do you understand by collinear points, students? See, if three or more points lie on the same line, they are called as collinear points. So what do you understand by the definition? That if you consider any 3 points, okay, and then if you can draw a line which includes all the 3 points, then you can say that those 3 points are collinear. Have I made you clear? Okay, let me understand you once again. If you take 3 points, okay, if you take 3 points, and then if you try to draw a line through these 3 points, okay, where all the 3 points will be residing on the line, and then those 3 points can be called as a collinear point. Okay, otherwise they will be called as non-collinear points. Okay, so let me show you this picture, then it will be more clear to you. See, here the picture is. So see, what is collinear? See, the A, P, Q and B, these are 4 points. Okay, and see, these 4 points are clearly residing on a line, right? So therefore what we can tell, that A, P, Q, B are collinear, right? Whereas on the other hand, C, so these points are scattered around the line. They are not exactly on the line, right? They are scattered around the line, right? So therefore what we can tell is that these points are not collinear. Okay students, so have you understood the concept of collinear and non-collinear? Okay, so it will be used in the coming section of your chapter. Okay, so make it clear in your minds. Okay, what is collinear? That the point should reside on the line, exactly reside on the line. Okay, otherwise they are non-collinear. Okay students, so I think I have made you clear about collinear and non-collinear. Okay, okay students, now we will be discussing angles. Okay, so what basically an angle is. Okay, so how an angle is formed. Okay, so we'll be looking here. So if you look at the definition here, see, an angle is formed when two rays originate from the same endpoint. Okay, so basically an angle is formed by two rays, okay, which must originate from the same point. Okay, have you understand it, right? And the rays making an angle are called the arms of the angle. Okay, so the two rays will be known as the arms of the angle. Okay, and that endpoint where the two rays meet, okay, where the two rays come into contact, is called the vertex of the angle. Okay, clear? So what do you mean by arms of the angle, and what do you mean by vertex of an angle? So here, okay, you must know it. Okay, so now students, again the angles can be categorized into different types. Okay, there are different types of angles. So let's see the first category. It is the acute angle. Okay, so students, looking at these pictures, can you give me an idea what acute angle is? See, See, if you look carefully at all these angles are less than 90 degree. Yes or no? All these angles are less than 90 degree, right? So students, acute angle are those angles which have a measure of an angle which is less than 90 degree. Okay, so I have made myself clear about acute angles, right? Now comes obtuse angle. Okay, so now what do you mean by obtuse angle? So looking at these examples, you must have guessed, right? So obtuse angles are those angles which have value greater than 90 degree, but the value must be smaller than 180 degree. Okay students, so this is known as obtuse angle. Okay, so acute angle and obtuse angle you have understood. Obtuse angle must have value greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree, right? And you know what right angle is, right? And right angle is an angle which has the value exactly 90 degree, that is perpendicular, what we call, right? So this is right angle. Okay, so now students, again there are two types of angles, that is complementary angle and supplementary angle. Okay, so what do you mean by complementary angle is that when two angles have a sum of 90 degree, then they are called complementary angles. I mean two angles which on summing their angles we get an exact value of 90 degree, then these two angles are called complementary angle. And on the other hand, if the sum of those two angles are 180 degree, then they are called supplementary angles. Simple, right? See, look at this picture. See, so 120 and 60 are supplementary angles. Why they are supplementary angles? Because 120 plus 60 is how much? It is 180, right? So we can say 120 and 60 are supplementary angle. On the other hand, this angle 30 and angle 60 will be what? It will be complementary angle. Why? Because 30 plus 60 equals to how much? It equals to 90, right? So this is basically what complementary and supplementary angle is. Okay students, so now here is one problem for you. See, very simple. See, you just have to find these two angles. Okay, that means you have to find the value of x. Okay, so how will you proceed? See, we clearly see that the angle twice x and the angle x forms complementary angle, right? Because these two angles will sum to 90 degree, right? So simple, just put the values here. See, then what will happen? Then 2x plus x will be what? 90 degree or not? And then just simple calculation. It's the basic calculation, right? Just find the value of x, and what you will get? X equal to 30 degree. Yes or no? So this is how you can find. So this was one of the simplest examples. Okay, so students, so today what we have learned is that we have learned about lines. Okay, we have learned about types of lines. Okay, and also we have discussed about angles, right? And the types of angles. Okay, so in the coming class we will be looking into more depth, okay, on the types of angles and the properties of angles. Okay, so in the coming classes we will be looking into those things. Okay, so for now you must study this. You must get the concept of lines and angles properly, then only you can understand from the next class. Okay, so students, so that's all for today. Okay students, so be prepared for next class. Okay, so I'll meet you all in the next class. So till then, goodbye and take care.